Hi VC, this is Aaron, Lethalmer, and today I'm entering Chris Propfe's Nifty 650 contest. And if you haven't checked out Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed, it's one of the best channels on the VC. It's really good. He's got a very eclectic taste, everything from hard rock and metal to country to pop to show tunes, and you name it. He listens to everything, and he's a great guy. He's actually my first contact into the VC, so I really appreciate him for reaching out to me, and he's a great guy. Sub to his channel if you haven't already, and I'll get this started. So first up, I'm supposed to show the first and last albums in my collection. So my collection is alphabetized, and it goes from A up here, across, and down, and there's 4 rows actually go way down under there, and then it ends on the Z's. And then I have a couple subsections of compilations, soundtracks, oddball stuff, and things I don't really listen to. So I'll just go with the main part of my collection though. And my first one of my collection is Lee Aaron. She's a really good rocker, hard rock, heavy metal, but that's my first one of my collection, Lee Aaron. And the last one is this double live ZZ Top, Tonight at Midnight, and this is from 2016, I believe. And you know, it's got everything through their whole career. You know, most of the big hits they've had. Pretty good live record. I prefer the Fandango live recordings, but that's just amazing. Fandango live side one. But this is good. It's a good deal there. They're not as good as they were in the olden days, but it's still really good. Killer album. Got a lot of good songs on it. And then I'm supposed to show a mostly blue record. I'm going with Queens of the Stone Age, rated R. My favorite record by the Queens of the Stone Age. This album is just absolutely killer. It's our alternative grunge, stoner rock, whatever you want to call it, with a little bit of, you know, it's got Josh Homme sings most of it. Then Nick Oliveri comes on and almost sings death metal type vocals when he sings on like 1 or 2 songs. And then there's some mellower, spacey stuff. Really good album. It's killer all the way through. Great record. Very underrated. If you haven't heard this, check the rated R. And next up, I got to go choose between Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, and this was very easy for me. I instantly knew exactly who I like better because I'm just like that. I know what I like. And you know, Led Zeppelin has some amazing records. 2 and 4, and Physical Graffiti 1 and 3, House of the Holy, In Through the Outdoor, you know, Presence, or even Coda's pretty good. But for me, it's easily Deep Purple. I just think that's the band. That's one of my favorite bands. They have some of my very favorite records ever. I really appreciate the Rod Evans era, the first era of them with Shades of Deep Purple, The Book of Taliesin, and Deep Purple. Those are really killer, but where they really got me was when it started with the Mach 2 era. And In Rock, Fireball, and Machine Head are 3 of my favorite records ever. Especially In Rock and Fireball. Those 2 records, I mean, they're just amazing. It's kind of where I think In Rock, there's parts of that and in parts of Fireball that started like speed metal and progressive metal. Like, can get the roots from that, and blues metal. And it's just, you know, Led Zeppelin's legendary, of course, and they're great. But to me, it's hands down Deep Purple. And I appreciate the Coverdale years as well. They were really good. You know, the Burn album is killer. Stormbringer, they had some really good ones then. Perfect Strangers, when they came back, is really good. And even their more modern stuff is really good as well. So, you know, overall, I just think they're better. And, you know, Led Zeppelin had mostly just solid, killer classic records. Deep Purple had a couple that weren't quite as good, but their strong ones were so good that it just elevates them for me. Especially In Rock and Fireball, like I said. So there's my answer to that. And next I'm supposed to show my speakers, but I'll do that at the end because I'm trying to figure out how to do this without messing it up. And then next, tell 2 albums on my want list. So my 2 biggest grails are Subhuman Race from Skid Row. It's actually my favorite Skid Row album, just barely ahead of Slave to the Grind, which is one of my favorite records too. I don't have either of them actually, so they're both grails of mine, but my biggest one is Subhuman Race because it's really hard to get. And then my second one will have to be Kiss Originals Volume 2, which I believe was only released in Japan, but I'm not sure. And then it's got Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. 3-record set, like the original had Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, and Dress to Kill. And so those are my 2 biggest ones I've been looking for. But I've got, you know, hundreds of records I like that I don't have. So I'm always looking, always wanting more. And then show a lesser known album by a known artist. So, by a well-known artist. So this one, I'm using the same band as Christian Osario, but a different record. And he used The Cult. That's what I'm using here. And I'm using this because I never really see this album, and it's one of their very best. To me, their best records were Electric and Sonic Temple. Electric probably being my favorite, but this one is right up with those 2. It's really good. It was released in 2007. It's called Born Into This. This record is amazing. They went back heavier, less alternative, and more just straightforward rock and hard rock with a heavy edge to it. Really great album. And I didn't even know about it until I saw it on vinyl. I was like, well, I'll give it a try, you know. I'm hit or miss with The Cult. But this one here, worth getting. Killer record. So now I will attempt to show my speakers without totally messing up here. I got to pick up my phone. And there's one of them there. I got some... they're adequate speakers. It's a Kenwood up here. I got Pioneers down below, but the Pioneers I don't really use because they... the bass is just too much, and it gives me feedback. And so do the upper ones when I go too loud. I can go pretty loud on them, but as soon as I get way up there, it gets some feedback. So I got these Kenwoods are what I'm using now. And there's all my cassettes that I have left. I used to have thousands, but that's what's left of them. There's some really good metal in there and all kinds of stuff. And then my records over here. And if I go this way, let's see. You can see it goes down below. So there's I'll give a full room tour when I'm still working on a couple things. So as of now, I'm looking to upgrade my stereo. I mean, it's a good stereo, don't get me wrong, but I'm always looking to upgrade. I want some more definition. I mean, it goes loud, but I'm not getting the crisp highs and the deep lows like I want. But it's very adequate. It works very good. It's loud enough when I'm having oh yeah, I'll show this too. So this is what I record on. This is my kegerator. So I always keep Budweiser in it, a full keg of Budweiser. And that little ledge there is what I record on. There's my Beatles clock and Beatles. And I've got, see if you can see them, I've got, okay, yeah, picture discs up on my walls everywhere. So I don't really play them, I just keep them up there. There's some more of them. And this one more thing is pretty interesting I'll show. This here is it's an actual painting my stepdad did of me. And that's where I get my my channel image from. And so there you go. I will do a room tour eventually. I'm working on a couple things to get it prepped. So all right, well, Chris, congratulations on hitting 650. Hopefully you get up to 1,000 before long. You definitely deserve it. Great channel. All right, everyone, keep on rocking. Goodbye.